Hello everyone. For this week, we are going to study chapter 12, which is about stereotype, prejudice, and discrimination. I know that you already read chapter 12, so from now on, I'm going to summarize several important concepts in chapter 12 by using this PowerPoint slides. First, here is the social background. Globalization and immigration are leading to more culturally diverse populations in the United States and in many other countries. We are all aware that our society is becoming more and more diversified, and people living in the city or town likely have different ethnicity, cultures, religion, norms, and even sexual orientation. This social change is the reality we are now facing and hardly can avoid. This change creates many benefits for society and for the individuals within it. Okay, suppose that we live in the big city like New York, Chicago, LA, San Francisco. We can go to many different ethnic restaurants and enjoy foods of different countries. Or just suppose that we make friends who come from different cultures and we learn foreign language from them. These are certainly great benefits for us. But it is also quite true that any social change could at the same time bring us certain negative experiences. For example, members of a culturally diverse group may be less attracted to each other than are members of more homogeneous groups. Well, we may feel more comfortable with the people who actually belong to our own culture. Or we may have more difficulty communicating with each other. Different ethnic groups speak different languages, and people living together but speaking different languages can cause communication problems. Or in some cases, we may actively dislike and even engage in aggressive behavior toward each other. We often hear sad story news, which is about sort of violence inflicted upon certain religions, ethnic, or social groups. We all feel that these are awful acts and should not happen in our society. Nonetheless, these happen all the time. Why? So psychology here offers some understanding about the psychological process behind these social phenomena. Social psychologists have expended substantial research efforts studying the concept, stereotyping, prejudice, and discrimination. Okay, these three concepts are very, very important in chapter 12. So we have to understand the meanings of these three concepts. Importantly, these three concepts sound quite similar, but their meaning have differences one another. Okay? Okay, here are the definitions of these three concepts. First, stereotype. The positive or negative beliefs that we hold about the characteristics of social groups. So one important point of stereotype is that it includes positive or negative beliefs. Okay. Second, prejudice. An unjustifiable negative attitude toward an outgroup or toward the members of that outgroup. So prejudice is almost always negative. And this is the one difference between stereotype and prejudice. Okay. Third, discrimination. Unjustified negative behavior toward members of outgroup based on their group membership. So stereotype prejudice are more psychological. On the other hand, discrimination is more behavior. So discrimination is overt behaviors or actions which are based on stereotype, prejudice. Okay? Okay, here are the learning objectives of section 1. First, we describe the fundamental process of social categorization and its influence on those feelings and behaviors. This fundamental process indicates psychological process. Okay? Second, we define stereotype and describe the way that stereotypes are measured. So this section is mainly about stereotype, and then we learn about other two concepts, prejudice and discrimination, in the following sections. Third, we review the way that stereotype influence our behavior. So how psychological construct influence our action we can observe. Okay, here is social categorization. Its definition: the natural cognitive process by which we place individuals into social groups. Social categorization is nothing wrong because it is natural cognitive process in all of us. Okay? Second, social categorization occurs spontaneously without much thought on our part. So social categorization is very automatic and then spontaneous and unconscious process, and it occurs even before we can control it. Okay? Third, we spontaneously categorize each other on the basis of many other group membership, including race, academic status, social roles, and other social categories. So we categorize people into the category which are actually available in our society. So social categorization involves learning process. Okay? Social categorization is occurring all around us all the time, and it occurs so quickly that people may have difficulty not thinking about others in terms of their group membership. Okay? Now you see the four pictures of certain individuals. Here are the questions. What are your thoughts and feelings about each person? What are your stereotypes and prejudices about them? Do you think your stereotypes are accurate? Okay. Is here anybody who can give us your answer? The benefits of social categorization. First, the tendency to categorize others is normally quite useful. We categorize because doing so provides us with information about the characteristics of people who belong to certain social groups. Here, the keyword is information. Humans usually avoid uncertainty, and we need information for judgment and decision making. So social categorization could be beneficial because it offers us information. Okay, the next. The stereotype may be at least partly true for many of the members of the social category in terms of their actual behaviors. Okay, the third. We sometimes categorize others because we may not have the time to do anything more thorough. Human cognition normally seek its efficiency. This means that shortest time and least efforts are often optimal because it let us save our intellectual energy for the next cognitive work. So social categorization could be also beneficial if it offers us the shortest pathway for making conclusions. Okay? Okay, we have learned about a couple of benefits of social categorization. So here is the negative outcomes of social categorization. First, social categorization distorts our perception such that we tend to exaggerate the differences between people from different social groups. Categorizing something indicates making differences, right? So once we categorize people into categories, certain group differences become exaggerated in our mind. Okay. Second, outgroup homogeneity, the tendency to view members of outgroup as more similar to each other than we see members of in-groups. Outgroup homogeneity is also important concept and the flip side of group differences. Okay, we believe that all groups are so different one another. This belief eventually grows another conception that people who belong to one group are all same. We often see people saying these people are all same, these people are all intelligent, blah blah blah. These are outgroup homogeneity. Third, we learn our stereotype in part through our communication with parents and peers, and from the behavior we see portrayed in the media. Okay, so we were kids, suppose that we observed certain negative attitude of our parents toward certain social or ethnic group. And we observed that attitude over and over again. That attitude eventually become internalized in our mind. And media influence. And the media portrays a certain ethnic group in a very biased way, and we constantly become exposed to those portrayals. We eventually believe that those portrayals are true. Okay. Okay, here we see figure 12.6. This is the actual result of the study conducted in 2001. These are the traits those college participants believed are appropriate for each social or ethnic group. So anyway, look at them one by one. Americans, materialistic, lazy, individualistic, pleasure-loving, industrious. Blacks, musical, pleasure-loving, loud, aggressive, artistic. Italian, loyal to family ties, tradition-loving, passionate, religious, quick-tempered. Germans, intelligent, industrious, nationalistic, scientifically minded, methodical. Jews, very religious, intelligent, tradition-loving, shrewd, loyal to family ties. Chinese, intelligent, loyal to family ties, reserved, industrious, tradition-loving. Here, we have to keep in mind that these traits are never true. Okay? These are the traits or characteristics some Americans may believe are true for a certain social or ethnic group. Okay? Okay, here is stereotype threat. This is also a very, very important concept. So let's understand and learn about this concept by watching one video. Okay? Let's go.
Social psychologists have found that performance in any given situation may be influenced by the threat of being negatively stereotyped. Stereotype threat is disruptive and intimidating. The fear is that when facing a negative stereotype, one's performance will confirm that the stereotype is true. The anxiety that the stereotype fosters prevents people from doing their best.
As soon as you're aware that you could be seen through the lens of a negative stereotype about a group that you're a part of, if you care about that situation, you could feel some sense of threat, that you're going to be treated in terms of that stereotype or perceived in terms of that stereotype or in some way reduced to that stereotype. And it's a kind of threat that as you can tell from that, happens to everybody because everybody's a member of some group that is negatively stereotyped. All groups have negative stereotypes.
In an interesting experiment conducted by Dr. Jeff Stone, black and white athletes were instructed that they were going to be tested on a golf-related task.
When I finish the instructions today, you'll be going into the adjoining room where you'll be given a standardized measure of athletic aptitude developed by sports psychologists and based on the game of golf. The test is designed to measure personal factors correlated with natural athletic ability, such as hand-eye coordination. Any questions about that?
When a group was told the task was a test of athletic ability, the African American subjects did better than the white subjects.
When I finish the instructions today, you'll be going into the adjoining room where you'll be given a standardized measure of athletic aptitude developed by sports psychologists and based on the game of golf. The test is designed to measure personal factors correlated with ability to think strategically during an athletic performance test. Any questions about that?
When told the task was a test of sports strategy, the white subjects outperformed the African American subjects. In both cases, stereotypes triggered beliefs and fears in the participants that became self-fulfilling.
The cute thing of the study is that he reverses the effect by, in a different condition, changing the label for the condition. In this condition, he says to them, this is a test of sports strategic intelligence. So there's a stereotype that now is more likely to intimidate the African American subjects in this experiment, and indeed the performance reverses. Under that instruction, whites outperform blacks. So yes, I think this kind of intimidation, I think stereotype threat is a cousin to a much more general kind of reputational intimidation that we can impose on people. And is imposed on us as a kind of regular feature of social existence.
Okay, today's lecture is actually over. So from now on, you are going to do classroom activity assignment. So make a group of 2 to 3 people in maximum. Okay, so also it's better one of your group has a laptop so that you can submit your answer by using email. So anybody in your group does not have a laptop, please use this paper. So come here and get this paper and then use this paper as an answer sheet. So please have a group discussion about the 2 questions you see in the PowerPoint slide, and then write the detail of your discussion as an answer and submit your answer by using email or by using this paper. Okay, please don't forget putting all the name of your group, and then if you have any question, ask me anytime.